4.2% inflation, but because Israel's our chosen land, it's cool. Let's just keep bombing Iran. Okay, enough jokes. CPI came out. 4.2% inflation. Fuck me to tears. Oh. Okay, we're going over today's trade recap, how I made $348. And I got to confess, you're going to see a red day. And yes, I'm not trying to only post YouTube and the trade recaps only on my green days. It was just yesterday, I was greedy. I entered a trade. I was long. I was waiting for a V-shaped reversal move because there was a bunch of like stacked high time frame gaps. Whoever traded knows what I'm talking about on Tuesday. And so we bounced in like the OTE of a bullish range because I was ultimately thinking like, hey, we just reverse off of these gaps and go higher. Um, but it completely just dumped the whole entire day, so my bias was wrong. But I still won like a 1 to 2 trade. But what happened was because I've only been risking like two contracts, which is just $200. Um, I entered the trade on two contracts, but then I only sold one, and I left a runner thinking that it could run for like a little bit. And boy, was I wrong. Um, which in hindsight, I was just greedy. I was impatient, and there was just too much stacked like bearish fair value gaps for me to hold a runner. So it was pretty much just useless. I should have just closed both, and I would have been up on the day like $260. Um, in the trade, I wouldn't really consider it like A plus because like on the higher time frame, it looked literally just like a 5 minute order block. So it was kind of like a pattern trade. So I mean, it followed my rules. There was a lick sweep, there was a tap into a high time frame gap, and then there was a strong like 1 minute V-shaped IFEG. But like I don't know, I was just super greedy, and then after that, I just entered another position off of some bullshit and yeah, I was just gambling and trying to get more money. So learn from me to not be greedy. Okay, so we'll go into the trade recap today. And it was just like, bro, like, why should I waste my time and energy creating a video when it's like I know what I did wrong, you know? And it's like it would just be pointless for me to fucking like create a video, you know? It's like, oh, great, this motherfucker didn't follow his rules again. Or just didn't he was just greedy, you know? And that's the whole thing. It's like I got my piece of the pie, but yeah, I just wanted more. Which was just like gay, but it is what it is. It's a lesson to learn from. Because like I said, right, I could have been up green on the day, 260 instead of minus 205 yesterday. But it is what it is, right? Because we just came back stronger, um, and yeah, looking pretty good. Close to another payout. That's always nice. Um, so yeah, okay. But going into today, I'll just go back into. I mean, market open. Like I was thinking we would go obviously long, right? You know, we just have so much liquidity. We obviously have this high right here, and then we also have London high, Asia high, and then even another high above that. So there's just like this high time frame, low resistance liquidity right here because there's no high time frame gap that's protecting it. So ultimately, I was pretty bullish going into open, and obviously, like I set my conditions of like, here's a bearish fair value gap right here, and then obviously you have this unfilled or this 15-minute fair value gap, boom. You have a BPR gap right here, which that could have been a setup into open, tap into the BPR, have a nice strong inversion to the upside, and you would have won right there. Um, right. And so what I was looking for, 15 minutes into open, I was really looking for like, some sort of retrace into like a nice V shape, like something like a V shape right into here. But then it's like if it would V shape right here, then like yeah, the points would be 54 and 80. But dude, like this is just a 40 point gap. And so I'm really not key to taking short or longs right here. But what a setup idea could be, especially if you watch like AVAL trades. Here's a 1 minute bullish SMT. We have a 1 minute fair value gap, clear strong drawn liquidity right here. And then you could have marked out your fib tool from this swing low to swing high, and you could have just placed, you know, your long position because clearly we're in, a continuation long setup right here, um, right? Like we clearly just want to go higher, but obviously price isn't going, right? And so yeah, that could have been, a trade idea, use equilibrium. Clearly it was bouncing off of it. And that was something that I was actually looking for, but I just didn't want to place it because I haven't placed a trade like that ever. Um, I really just like my IFEGs. But it played out because the draw on liquidity was there. And so what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for this 4 hour tap in. Um, and so the 4 hour, unfilled 4 hour gets tapped into. And then if we just mark out the fib tool from the swing high to the swing low of the bearish range that was created from yesterday, you clearly see that, these are like, point 0.62, 0.705, 0.79 are obviously like the optimal. I mean, this is the OTE, but like even 0.62 is a pretty good optimal trade entry as well. Um, so obviously, I'm not okay. Come on, fam. Obviously, I'm not uh, looking for longs, considering that now we are, you know, we just tapped into a bearish range, right? I think we're going to be continuing a downtrend because Trump just came out that he wants to bomb Iran even more. King Goy wants to bomb Iran even more for Israel. So that's always wonderful and splendid. Um, because he's a good little Shabbos Goy. And then because he's a good King Goy, like we have 4.2% inflation. So obviously there's going to be some pain in the markets. I'm thinking this daily low that was created the other day definitely gets swept, maybe in later session like PM session, or maybe even London or Asia session. It's definitely going to get swept. That's a guarantee. And so maybe we could feel more of an imbalance in the weekly gaps from the huge bullish range that we created. Um, okay, so let's get into the trade. I don't know why it keeps going like that. So what happens, I was really gonna, mark out my tool right here, but I really wanted to see, maybe we could go deeper into this 4 hour gap. So I really wanted to see like a CISD, a change in state delivery, knowing that sellers are winning in the market. And so we have this inverse right here, and it also inverses on the 2 minute, but this is what I would like to call a Jew fake out. And so I kind of got faked out right here. Like as soon as like it inverse, I was like, ooh, do I really want to go long? Do I really want to go short? And so I was very patient. I was waiting. Obviously, I wanted to see this gap probably get inversed if I wanted to take a trade because it's like it was clearly tapping and respecting so many times. Like its balls were getting fondled. Um, and so I really was looking for that CISD. We have a 1 minute CISD, strong 3 minute inverse, 3 minute CISD, and now I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. This is exactly what I've been waiting for. We have a change in state delivery. We have a 3 minute IFEG. Um, and clearly, we just have all of this low resistance liquidity right here off of bad red folder news. And clearly, we just wanted to manipulate higher. This is clearly just a 1 hour manipulation leg because we had that accumulation manipulation. Now we have this distribution. Okay, cool. And what happens? I mark out and I anchor from the swing high to the swing low of this range. And there's perfectly aligned the CE of the 1 minute fair value gap to the zero point 0.5 range. And so I'm like, okay, I could just place my limit right here and I'm not going to experience any drawdown. Boom. And we instantly TP hit in 3 minutes. Like, and what was so like, I mean, I didn't want to, yes, I did know that, like, yes, we would definitely reach that area, but I wanted to place my take profit right here because I would see reaction at this 1 minute fair value gap. Yes, it's a 1 minute fair value gap, and it's like, oh, like it's pretty low resistance. Like there's clear draws and liquidity right here. This 1 minute fair value gap doesn't mean shit. Yes, but I had to tell myself, because I literally wanted to drag my take profit lower, right? But then thankfully price just ran through because man, like I just need like I love to hold runners. Obviously, whoever's been watching me knows that I like to hold runners. I only purchased 2 contracts for this, so maybe if I did three, I probably would have done two right there and then left a runner down to there, and it would have played out like damn near instantly. But the thing is, right? I'm learning from my mistake of yesterday to not be greedy, get your piece of the pie, right? And this was a trade that got me back what I lost yesterday, and then some more. Um, and it was like it was a good trade, right? Like literally no drawdown. Had I done like 3 contracts, right? That's probably the most optimal, right? Because the risk is less than like maybe 0.6% on the account that I hold. So maybe like next time. But I just wanted to get a win under my belt. Like it is what it is. Yeah, 3 contracts would have been nice and dandy. It is what it is, bro. Like I made money. People lost today, right? People lost their account. Some people blew their account. Some people lost actual real money today. So I'm thankful. I'm fortunate that God gave me the wisdom. He gave me the patience and the discipline to see this. He gave me the confidence to place it, and to believe in the system that He has given me and to believe in the continuation model that He has given me. So I'm thankful. I thank God that, because yesterday was really like, like whenever you sin, right? And you don't feel a sense of shame, but you feel like a pit, right? You feel like a pit in like your heart because it's like, man, I just went against God, right? It's almost like this. It's like that same feeling when I don't follow my rules or like when I gamble on trades because it's like God has given me the wisdom, right? He's given me the wisdom and the discretion to learn trading, you know, and to actively pursue it. And this is clearly the purpose and desire that He has for me in my life. And by me actively like not following the rules that He has given me through knowledge, through understanding, through failure, and I don't follow those rules, I just feel like a pit, almost like I sinned, right? And also, not only that, it's like by me not following my rules, I'm furthering my growth and pushing myself back days, maybe months, maybe another week from success because of my own fleshly desires of seeking that dopamine of clicking a button or to gamble, right? And I'm thankful that when I gambled yesterday that I actually lost because it's like if I would have won, it's like what would have said to you guys even and even to myself, what would I have even said? Oh yeah, we just bounced off the OTE, but it's like, bro, I'm not Powell. I don't really trade the OTE. I don't top and bottom tick. I was just trying some bullshit, bro. And so like I thank God for allowing me to lose yesterday and to really sit with that loss, sit with like the gambling self, right? Because that's something that I've been struggling. Well, I have been struggling my whole entire trading career, right? It's like I have stretches where I'm super good, and maybe I get lucky, because definitely in the beginning I was definitely lucky, but you know, um, it is what it is. Now I just feel better. I feel a more confident trader. I see, obviously, with more time, I see more things um, to, better my growth, better my trades. And so I can only thank God. And by me, trying to give into my fleshly desires of, trying to seek short term pleasures, short term gratitude, I'm not thinking long term of the people that I want to help in the future, right? Because it's going to be a disservice to, my family, my spouse, my children, right? If I can't lock into these rules, lock into crucifying my flesh and my mind and my human desires, right? So it's almost like that, right? You guys kind of get that correlation. So yeah, I can only just thank God for the loss and for the understanding of yesterday. And that is the trade recap. Hopefully you guys understood it. Hopefully you guys kind of um, learned. Hopefully you guys won today. If not, you guys learned because failure is only growth. And I'll leave you guys on a verse, right? It's in Romans chapter 8. I don't know what verse line, but I literally wrote it down, right? Because I asked the Holy Spirit yesterday, like, hey, what is a verse or what is a, book that I need to read right now to answer how I am feeling? And so it is Romans chapter 8. It's in like the later of chapter 8. It says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." So when you have failed in trading, when you have lost, right, you think it's like the end of the world. You think it's like, oh man, what is wrong with me? How can I change? Can I get it back instantly? No. Just be patient, persevere through the suffering. Because the moments where you fail, the moments where you gamble, the moments where you blow the accounts, purchase more, blow them, it's only building you through perseverance, through suffering. You're going to get to a point where it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's kind of like the more you sin, right? You become more aware of it, therefore, then you don't want to do it anymore. So it's kind of funny how, like, every single time we sin, it brings us closer to God. It's kind of weird how that works, but ultimately, when you're living in lies, you actively want to seek the truth, right? Because lies are terrible. So if it wasn't for, us falling into sin, we could never get to God. Because if we think sin is good, then we wouldn't know God. Does that make sense? So hopefully, you guys learned. Love y'all. God bless.